Hello and welcome to Amber's Dreams Tarot. My name is Amber and I'm going to do some tarot for you. I've already pre-selected my decks for this particular read and they're all pre-shuffled. Quick disclaimer is I'm not going to be reaching out to any of you trying to get you to purchase anything from any platform or anything. So if anybody does, saying that there may be sure to report them so that it makes it harder for them to scam people. Also, if you are interested in a personal read, I am doing those as well as remote viewings, dream interpretations, and I have all of my contact information in the description box. While you're here, please like and share. It is free, and you can comment, subscribe, definitely subscribe. Yeah, all of that is free. It just takes a moment of your time. And it really helps to grow the channel. Okay, so I'm being guided to pull a card out of here first, and then I'm going to go into what it was that I channeled when I was setting up the decks. And I'm particularly hearing setting the scene. Setting up the scene. So somebody could be setting up a scene so that it's presented a certain way. Possibly to create some type of illusion. Move. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I had to let my cat out. So, setting the scene. Yeah, I'm getting like a lot of pretending, like a lot of illusions. Setup is coming to mind. Whether that's like describing like a physical setup, of like I'm getting like when like a stage is set. But it could also be like maybe somebody was set up. I don't know. We'll see. So starting off with FOMO and clear your vibes. So what is that? The fear of missing out. We have number 14. And this person has, see all the like birds just crowding this person's head? So this person is having like the illusion is like all their focus. They can't see past whatever this is. And this could be their own fears that are creating this illusion. We'll get into it. We'll get some more information. So I'm going to go into what I have channeled that actually fits very well with the energies of the astrology today as well. So we're working today with, very mercurial energy that's affecting thought and communication. So communication is, I'm not necessarily going to say that it's going to be off, but it's almost like, thank you, Spirit. It's impulsive. I looked up and saw impulsive, with the note that is actually for the lunar eclipse coming up with the Mercury Cazimi. So thank you again, Spirit. And I'll go ahead and read just a little bit of what that is. So this is going to be bringing sharp mental clarity and foresight before emotional buildup and release, endings and sudden realizations. Reflect and respond. Do not impulsively react. Let emotions flow in a healing way. So basically, like, we're in a very chaotic energy, particularly when it comes to communication. So some people are going to be, communicating in a way where we're going to be having a lot of self-expression. We're also going to be having a lot of exposure. And I'm particularly hearing we're going to be having confessions. So I think that's good all the way around. They could be confessions of love, confessions of crimes, confessions of, whatever. The point is all of this chaos and all of this getting shaken up is to let all what's unneeded, fall off, so that we're only left with what it is that, is crucial and what we absolutely need. It's bringing balance in a very chaotic way, which is, we've been working with Saturn for the last 2 years, so that's very much that energy. People are going to be feeling very, people could be feeling either very like erratic with this, all this eclipse energy, or they could be feeling just very drained of energy. But it's kind of got everybody getting like, burning both ends of the candle. Which is interesting because when I was burning my Palo Santo before this reading, and I was noticing my candle, which is a twin flame candle, meaning it just has two wicks, two flames. Not getting into the whole twin flame or twin flame, rabbit hole, but one was burning quite low while the other one was burning quite brightly. So there's definitely an imbalance at this time, and, needing to bring those two back together. And this, I think, is what is going to do that. So, what I'm getting, which is particularly for this week, is I heard let's get back to basics. I heard back to school and relearning. So this is a time when people have or are, literally returning back to school. But it's also meaning like just, back to just learning in general. So it doesn't have to be like literally going back to school. It's just there's something that has been taught, something that has been learned and very possibly moved right into, oh, this is fact and belief. But it's not. And that's why we're going back to basics, because something needs to be relearned. Something was taught incorrectly. And things need to change. So going back to basics, relearning, and we have the power to move forward in a new way. And illusions are dying. So that's kind of what's happening, is we have all of this illusion going on, and this is kind of all you can see when the illusion is in front of you, and particularly if it's all around you, which is what we have been having like big time with this psyops, but with just I think just life in general. I think there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to be learning that have been kept hidden from us for our entire lives. And when we learn this is going to be a tower moment, in that this is the type of energy where some type of information is going to come in that is going to tear down everything that we thought we knew about something. And I feel like it's something very, very big. It's something we've been taught our entire lives, that this is how it is. And if you believe different, then you're an idiot, or you're crazy or whatever. But this information is coming in. It's either being exposed. I really kind of feel like it's just being like offered up, like just like, hey, like we've decided not to, keep up the illusion any longer, but this is what's been going on. And really, learning what was illusion the whole time and what is the actual reality. And then with that new information, that'll change how you think about a lot of things. It's, going to change things that you thought weren't possible before, now are possible. So all of that is going to change. It started a new beginning, and you're going to move forward in a way that you never either thought you could before. Maybe you weren't able to, like maybe there were like because of this illusion, like limitations there or something. But there's definitely this energy of new realizations with new information coming in, and the illusions are dying, and with this new information, how are we going to be moving forward? And as we're moving forward, we're really, we're going to be learning uh, new things, because all of these, we had been taught illusions. So now we're going to be learning, you know, a much more truthful way of being. And this, oh my gosh, how funny. I was about to go into how this is affecting the identity, which is what has been worked with, or worked on with the Saturn energy of the last 2 years. And Saturn comes in and he is like a boot camp instructor, and it is long term. He's not nurturing, but he's quite mean when he's teaching you stuff over a long period of time, but it is for your better good. It is training you to become stronger. Also, there's going to be situations, blockages put up to where you have to learn what can you do to maneuver around them, or do you have to learn to just hold and be patient? So it really, these situations force you to learn a lot of different skills. And this could be like on the, as far as like job force, career, you know, did you have to move around to different jobs and or different positions, and have to learn different skills while you were there that maybe you don't intend to stay here, but in the future, when it comes to, the job that you do want, are those skills going to be very helpful for that? And it doesn't have to be a job. It could be in love. What are we learning about ourselves? What skills are we gaining, in that? Like, what strength I would say we've all gained so much strength over the past, especially since 2020. We've all been through all of it. And, to still be here shows that you have gained strength. And pat yourself on the back for that. Be sure, always be sure to, to keep your vibe up. Don't overlook your small steps and your small achievements, because it's those small steps. If you took a small step towards the biggest goal of your life, if you took a small step, just one, every day or even every other day, you're going to meet that goal. But if you don't ever take any steps to it, and you tell yourself with this illusion and you believe that you can't do it, then you're never going to get there. And I think one thing that you have to learn if you are going to make big dreams into a reality is to be very mindful of those small steps. Sometimes you will get big leaps. Sometimes you'll get setbacks. But the important thing is to remember it's going to ebb and flow. But throughout it all, just keep taking small steps. And then, a leap when you can. When there's a setback, be like, oh, shit, that sucks. Maybe I'll rest today. And, either tonight or tomorrow, take one small step. And just keep doing that. As I was doing that, it started bringing about the, like, we used to have these tarantula migrations where I'm from. And it's about that time that it is coming up. It's actually a huge time for migration of the animals right now. So, that's the changing of the seasons, and they just automatically know how to do that, which has something to do with was it quantum mechanics? So they know, I think I believe it has to do with like geomagnetism, like that's like their inner guidance system. So they have that very ingrained, and they know that. A lot of humans don't know that we have that. Unless you really tap into it and practice it, you don't understand that you have that skill. A lot of people over the last 2 years are learning that they do have, the skill that they have that inner guidance, and that they can, the more they tune into it, the more it's like practice, and the more that the better they get at it. And then there are some people yet to really learn that. But I think that is going to be a message that is going to be loud and clear of like, hey, so remember all that time we said all this stuff was like woo woo? And well, it turns out there's science for it now. And we've known it for a while, but we kept it from the public. But now we're going to release some of it. But it is going to be some type of information. And this is, when we're working with these energies, this is not just, this is going to be affecting us collectively, like big, like global, national, and it is also going to be affecting us individually. And generally, those things are happening at the same time because they're working with the same energy. Right now, we're in huge transitional energy, and you can see this big shifts going on where people were like, well, I used to identify this way, but now I'm identifying this way. Because turns out what I identified with, that doesn't resonate with me anymore. And I don't want to be stuck in that box anymore. Maybe I have some ideas that I differ with, and I would rather just be this, we're switching from what we have believed and been told and told ourselves is our identity, and we can't escape from that box, into just self-expression and freedom and being who you really want to be and not playing the part anymore. Not worrying about setting the stage anymore. The illusion is going away and we're going into self-expression and, if it's possibly exposure, just depending on which side of the coin that's on. And if any listeners here are, have a fear of being exposed in some way, know that, and man, my ears started ringing like hardcore for that one. So that is definitely resonating with some of you. Just know that even if it does come out as exposure, that everything is temporary, everything will pass, and that it is for your highest good, because what is going to come from that exposure is going to it's going to do so much good. So just try to take solace in that. Also, we are in a lot of like reconciliation energy as well. So with this new information and this illusion being dropped, and this being new information that is going to change your whole viewpoint on something in a big, big way, is coming in with a new, renewed person. That could be a new version of yourself. A lot of people are, rising out of the ashes at this point from just the constant burning and beat down that's been going on. But it's also about, like, during this time, like, people being renewed because they have learned some lessons. So this could be somebody that you have known from the past who comes back around. As a very changed person. Disclaimer: in no way would I ever, ever advise you to get back with somebody who is still toxic. And if they were toxic to you in the past, and they come back around and it looks like they've changed, and they're saying that they've changed, give them a pretty long friggin' trial period before, I'm talking like a few months at least, before you put all your eggs in that basket. And not saying that they're not trying or that they haven't made improvement, but people do tend to slip back into their old habits, particularly if they get back around the people that they were with when they were, in that behavior. So do keep that in mind. However, there is some renewed person coming in with this information, or wrapped in with this information. And again, this is going to be big information. I've even renewed spirit. Like this is going to be something so big that it's going to be a tower moment, not in like a horrible way, but something where it's like you're going to need to sit down for this. This is really big news, and it's like I'm getting like it's going to be very shocking. But it is, after the shock and after the I'm almost getting like somebody's head spinning. Like it's big, whatever this information is. Like it's afterwards it's going to be good. So it's going to be good news, but shocking news. There may be, I'm getting a sense of like somebody feeling like betrayed, possibly linked with the the illusion of it, feeling lied to, fooled. I'm hearing bamboozled, and again, my eye is going up to the note of impulsivity. So do not impulsively react when you get this news. Let the emotions flow in a healing way. So if you need to cry, cry. Fun fact, tears they did a scientific study on if there was difference in happy tears and sad tears, and there is. And what it is the hormones that are in it. So like if you're really stressed out and you're crying a whole lot, your tears are going to have a lot of cortisol in them. And it was like, I think it was like happy tears had like a lot of serotonin in them. And so why we cry, why we're triggered to cry, is because we have an abundance, like an overabundance of, one particular hormone going on, or sometimes like a combination. And that will trigger our brain to be like, or our body to tell our brain like, hey, we need to flush this. There's too much in the system going on. Let's flush it. And then that will trigger you to cry. So it really does work all the same, and it's really not that different than you got too much Pepsi in your system. You need to clean out your kidneys. So if you are ever a person who has felt like any shame in crying, or that like it's like you're like a wuss or a sissy if you cry, just think of it like you're just peeing out your eyes, man. It's biological. You got to do it. I think that really takes any type of, shame or, making it look weak. It's like, because it's not weak to pee. Well, it's not weak to cry either. All right. Getting into it. Working with the illusion. Okay. And now we're going to go this way. Okay. Whatever you want, Spirit. I'm looking at the clouds in that FOMO card, and it is saying, or I'm hearing that that song that's like, look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies, or clear skies. What is that? Oh yeah, it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. That's what that song is. So, look forward, look ahead, know that goodness is coming. Those gray skies are going to clear up. Put on a happy face. Okay. All right, we have, let me rearrange here. We have Spaceship and Don't Be Afraid to Sing, followed by Endings Are Inevitable. So there's definitely going to be an ending of something. Spaceship, Don't Be Afraid to Sing. So those things that like you've always wanted to do, or that you have a talent in doing, but you've never walked towards that talent or tried to build on that talent at all. This is saying like, just feel free to do that. Like, let go of the fear of that and just take those steps forward, because that's what we're really walking into is the, we need to, we're moving into self-expression. And particularly the rocket, the spaceship, is standing out to me because we are in, we're in the age of Aquarius, and the moon phase is, I believe it's also in Aquarius. Do I still have my note here? No, I think I got rid of it. But anyway, so this is an age of Aquarius is all about like thinking outside the box and innovation, forward thinking, humanitarian energy, and which I think is fun. Like we have that there with them, like all joined hands and stuff, like, and singing, and that's really, building up that good energy. But we are, like, technology is huge when it comes to Aquarian energy, and we have just moved into the entire age of technology. Space is a big one. They're talking about, we might be, our next 9 to 5s might be in space for a lot of people by the year of 2030. I think that has a lot to do with the information that's coming out as well. This is a lot of information that, as far as like on the grand collective scale, like I think a lot of this information that is going to come out and really blow everybody's minds. And I think initially people are going to be pissed, and then it's going to be like, well, this is, just move on, but you have to move on differently. And, but like, there is benefits out of it. But I think a lot of this information is going to be stuff that, has been going on behind the scenes for years, maybe even decades. And yeah, I'm definitely getting decades. And they just don't let the public know about it. But they're going to let us know a little something about some of it. All right, so this card wanted to pop out earlier, and it is the villain. You can always rewrite the story. So that's what's happening. Having to go back and say, okay, well, this was a lie, and this was a lie, and this was a lie. So what do we have now? Well, we have this. And again, this could have to do this. I think it really relates to everything. Everything is running on this energy. So if, as far as like what we're learning on the grand scale, but also like when it comes to our identity, what are the things that we just told ourselves were true versus, or were told were true versus what is actually true and authentic, and rewriting that story. Also, we have really big, music synchronicities going on here. Somebody could be a musician. They could be a singer, which I suppose is also a musician because, like, you're working with music if you're singing. But somebody could very well be, like, say they've been, I don't know, like stocking shelves or being working in a corporate office, their whole life, and they're taught like, oh, I'm hearing the word lawyer, like you have to do this and you have to do it this way and and like, you don't have time for your dreams. You got bills and you got blah, 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 all the stuff that, that whole banker mentality, if, I always go back to Mary Poppins where the bankers are singing and they're like, this is, what life is and this is what we're doing and and learning that that's not all there is to life. And in fact, we are in a very good time for people to express their talents, and that is going to go well with for them, because not only have we done all this work with the Saturn energy, we are coming into also Jupiter energy, and Jupiter's coming in with the luck and the opportunity and the expansion. So, very good stuff coming out of this. But at first, it's going to piss you off. I actually am getting it's going to piss you off at first. It's going to be big, big news. I mean, you are going to have to sit down for this. It's a realization of, I'm getting like, wow, like I could have been doing that the whole time, or I could have, or this is, something about the illusion and realizing that it was an illusion the whole time. Okay, so, rewriting the story. So if you've been, stuck in that energy of like what the man tells you got to do all the time, but like you're just like, I want to sing, or I want to build rockets, or, I want to be an astronaut, or whatever the heck, um, just coming to the realization of I can do that, and I'm going to rewrite my story, and I am going to start walking towards that goal. Yeah. Okay. I'm hearing change your thoughts, change your life as well. So that may be something that is shared with the public of how much of our reality is controlled by our thoughts, which is something that they would definitely not want the public to know for a very long time, because then a lot of a lot of very powerful people would lose power if everybody had the power. And that's the thing. That is the illusion, is everybody does have the power. They just don't want you to know that. And if you, yeah, well, I'm not going to go into that, but, so next we have princess. Somebody may be an apprentice, but we have princess. You can be your own knight. So I really think that goes with just like rewriting your story, that you are in control of your life. People are going to be coming into a realization that we have a heck of a lot more power than previously thought. And we have the evil queen. You deserve sugar, not salt. So, somebody's coming into a lot of realizations of like, what they are capable of, what they're good at, how they want to express themselves, what no longer serves them, and how they want to be treated. Okay. Nope, not that one yet. Okay. We have the numbers 14, 43, 37, 38, 1, and 2. So between the 37, 38, and the 1 and 2, it's like a step, like a progression. Also, it's a 2-year period, which is what the Saturn, we've been in that for the Saturn boot camp for about 2 years. And somebody maybe 43 years old, then 14, particularly the age of 14, is standing out to me. So something significant about the age of 14. Honestly, I am 43 right now, and I started working when I was 14. So, and, now I'm doing this. So, this and art, and, so it is possible. It is taking a lot of manifestation, which means a lot of retraining my thoughts, training my brain, my behavior, and constantly being on top of that, because the machine, the illusion, wants to just suck you back in. But typically, once you see like the Matrix for what it is, it's really hard to unsee that. So that does keep you on course of what you want to manifest and which direction you want to go on. Things that will, however, like the Matrix, if you start going on this path and you start becoming very successful about it, there are agents that will, their job is to get you to go back to sleep. Go back to working for the machine. So then you have to learn how to eventually not let that bother you anymore, because their whole job is to disrupt your energy, to keep your vibe low, to throw you off emotionally. And, so then you build the muscle into, becoming much more stoic. Yeah. So, We have magic egg with beginning something is exciting. So again, like rewriting the story, the beginning something new, the renewed spirit, the renewed person, the new information, the relearning, going back to school, back to basics. So starting new. This is somebody like the old you is gone. This is the new you. And you get to rewrite your story however you want. However you want. Okay. I will say, for anybody who has not taken this path but you want to, and I'm not saying this to discourage you at all, I'm saying this just so you know, this, so that you're not surprised, because I was not told, but the one downside to kind of waking up out of the matrix and seeing it for what it is that you will find that there, a lot of the people around you, actually damn near every person around you, almost every person that you come into contact with is not awake. You will be surrounded by people who are asleep, by, NPCs or muggles or whatever you want to call them. And it really gets to the point where you feel like you can't relate to normal people anymore. So there is that. But at the same time, when you do this work, you also will learn. I think for me, it was even beforehand. And I think for everybody, it will be beforehand. Because one of the things that'll happen on this path is it will get you into hermit mode, which will be some type of isolation. And while you're there, you are learning, you're growing, you're honing your skills. And what happens is you learn the difference. Well, now I'll put it this way. Being alone no longer is lonely. Because you learn to love yourself, and you really have to get to know yourself to go on this path at all, because you're having to communicate with every, oh gosh, my mind's going blank. Every archetype within you, and yeah, like you're gonna have company. So yeah, being alone is not lonely, and I think if you can grasp that, then that's really going to make it so much easier to even get into that hermit mode that you have to get into to start this journey in the first place. And there's so much to learn there too. And then, sometimes you do meet other people that are on the path, and, like-minded individuals. So it's not all lonely. It's just, there's a whole lot more people asleep than there are awake. And, you can't shake them awake. You can't yell them awake. You can't, they have to wake up on their own. And, yeah. And so that part is a little, nah, it is what it is. And, that's something I've struggled with for a while, but I'm really coming into, you know, uh, that's how it is. Okay. And so then we have the Dance the Rainbow. I love to have beauty in my life. So what we're manifesting here is the rainbow, is the beauty. The more that you focus on this, and the more that you believe it, and you could even role play it, like it's basically like you have to brainwash yourself to really manifest very well, because you have to be able to visualize it perfectly, and then you have to expect it. And I heard somebody saying the other day, and she's really good at manifestation, is she said, remember SPEC, SPEC. You select it, so you see it and you say, that's what I want. and then you project it, meaning that you role play it, you imagine it, and you pretend as if it's already happened, which rolls into you expect it. So you're acting like, it's already coming, like there's no doubt in your mind. It's like, it's almost like you have a subscription for something on Amazon and every 2 months this thing just comes automatically, it's like that. So you select it, project it, expect it, and then you collect it. And you have to really learn how to deal with the doubts that are going to come in there that can mess up your manifestation. And you don't have to go to war with them. In fact, that's actually what you'll kind of feel like you need to do. But if you do that, that's just going to mess it up. Yeah, there's a whole lot to it. A whole lot to it. And if you're still here, please like and subscribe. You can share and comment. If you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. And honestly, like if anybody would even like, to ask any questions about this path and about manifestation, I have already been trained in life as a teacher and teaching art, so I could teach this too. So if anybody would be, if you have any questions about this, while my information is still available, my contact information is still available, go ahead and contact me. I would love to have more people on this path. And I realize it's not for everybody. There's a lot of people, like, they would probably go insane knowing this stuff. And hopefully that's not what happens when a lot of this information is released to the public. But I imagine they probably have, well, I imagine they probably have a pretty good plan not to cause, like, massive chaos. But we see how their plan's been going lately, and it doesn't look like, doesn't look like they're the best at planning. I'm just going to say that. Yeah, I'm going to criticize it. Yep, I am. Okay. However, could I do any better if it was all on my shoulders? Probably not. Maybe in some areas, for sure. For sure in some areas, but I'm sure it wouldn't go perfectly smoothly if I was in charge either, so. So right now I am pulling from the Shadow deck, and I'm specifically feeling like what our blockage is going to be. So we have rejection. And I felt that in so that hit around like my third eye and my heart chakra. So that is where this shame and unworthiness and feeling of dismissal is hitting somebody. So with that hurting your heart and your third eye, definitely do a meditation and tune in, listen to those chakras and what they have to say and how they tell you and to move, because they will instruct you how to heal. But I'm feeling like somebody is particularly feeling cast out of society. Okay, so there could be a fear of surrounding self-expression, of somebody saying that if they, or telling themselves, and probably telling themselves because they've been told this by other people, that if they express in this way, that they are going to face rejection. They have been shamed for this, and so then they kind of just perpetuate it, and when it comes to expressing whatever this is, they feel shame. That is what the blockage is, and you are not going to be able to manifest at all if your heart and your third eye are blocked by this. So definitely go inwards and look and see, what the root of this rejection is. Where did it first start? And pull that weed up from the friggin' root. And again, like, just really ask those chakras and your energy, or if you want to work with any spirit guides or particular entities, you know, use like utilize their help while they're with you, and ask them exactly what you need to do, and they will instruct you for this. Okay, so I really feel like, once you get this blockage, realize, and I don't want to say realized. When you have this blockage, it's already realized. When you have this, and by realized, I mean like it's become real. It's in the physical. It's already caused the blockage. When you have an awareness of like the root and how this is affecting you and how to get rid of it, how to, or not how to get rid of it, more so how to integrate it, how to nurture it, how to love it, then that is going to open you up for all of this goodness, where you can rewrite your story minus the rejection. Also, I'm feeling like, since this doesn't really feel like it's going to be like, a one and done, like, 3-minute exercise, or even overnight, do be mindful that this could be kind of a weak spot where you may have a knee-jerk reaction when you feel any type of rejection. And this could be, from yourself. And then here we go. We have the you deserve sugar, not salt. So be very mindful on how you are treating yourself as well, and how, and particularly that surrounding that wound, because that is, whether you mean to or not, that is going to, manifest, is going to realize in your physical reality as well. So, all right. So new person coming in, new realizations, new energy, new spirit, new friggin' everything. And just now I just got a hit of, with the new spirit, this could be one of these big things coming in. Could be they're telling us a big thing about religion changing. I've actually been getting huge hits, particularly with my remote viewing of the top religions are going to be falling out of fashion and going to be replaced by other top religions, which I'll tell you right now is Thelema, which comes from Hermeticism, also just plain old Hermeticism, which is more like your Order of Golden Dawn. By the way, if you don't know, Thelema is like the Crowley magic. One way you can tell that this has been, this is slowly being introduced and normalized and even celebrated in how they're showing us, because that's what they do. They try to, slowly show it in there, get in your subconscious and get you used to it, so that by the time the news is out, you're just like, oh that's what it is, yeah, it's been like that. But huge rise of the Scarlet Woman. And I have seen this in previews for tons of different TV series. It's basically like you're kind of, it's like almost like a Lilith character. She's like, she doesn't back down. She's an empowered woman. She's in her dark feminine, and she dons a scarlet dress, or scarlet outfit, and she does represent like empowerment and all the things. But to some, she represents like demonology as well. So, it's not going to be, cut and dry with all of these religions. It's going to be like, I think Christianity is a good example of how it has all the different denominations, and, like Baptists and Catholics are not, the same. So kind of the same thing when it comes to the Hermeticism, having the, all the different sects, like Templars are coming back into fashion, and, the Thelema coming back. I haven't heard anything more about the Order of the Golden Dawn. But I have been hearing more about Rosicrucians. Um, so yeah, lots of different little sects in there. And another big one is going to be, and it's being pushed big time. And you can see this in like Hollywood, in the music industry, especially. Also with the Scarlet lady in that industry, but also like a lot of like Luciferian and all of this. So it's all just a very different way of, you know, leaning. I know a lot of people are going to be like, ooh, these are all evil and stuff. Well, I mean, if you check your history, the three basic religions that we have right now, there's been a lot of extremists, extremism and genocide from them as well. So, you know, that coin is getting flipped. We're going into something different, and one of those different things is going to be, you know, religion. Check out Bluebeam if you haven't heard of it yet. A lot of the people that watch tarot are already gonna be like, yeah, I know about that. So, yeah, expect that. You know, it's still on the books, and there's still signs that that is happening. I literally looked up and saw air signs. So yeah, look up Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam, if you don't know about that already. Anywho, um, what a world! What a world! I'm going to do some letters and some charms, and we'll see what comes out of that. This is going to be a little loud while I stir it up, so you can turn down the volume on your phone or whatever device you're listening to, and you can skip ahead about 10 seconds. Okay, so while I was stirring, I really got a big hit talking about the villains, and particularly what we were just talking about like the new religions and how they're very vilified. Particularly, we'll use Lilith as an example, but it's not just her. You could look at pretty much any divine feminine in the books. You know, you got Mary Magdalene, you have Sophia, who's basically been wiped out. Like nobody even mentions her anymore. And pretty much the counterpart to the divine masculine. So the divine masculine has been kept in all of these stories in the books, and which, by the way, all the stories in the books, you know, there's an agenda behind them, and that, you know, they left out stuff on purpose, and they put, you know, stuff in there on purpose, kind of like our government today. And if you really look at the time when these all these books and these agendas were being made, it was also a very political time. It just looked different. You know, they didn't wear the same type of suits. But they all went out and had their soapboxes. So I'm hearing that it's kind of a thing where a lot of you know, these villains, so to speak, where we've been taught to fear all of this, and because it's bad, I think we're all going to get a realization of how much of that was actually a lie. How, you know, history will show you that powerful women, particularly women that do not stay quiet, like empowered women, we don't go down in history as the best. We get burned at the stake. You know, we get vilified forever in a story, saying, you know, that we're the queen of evils and demons and stuff like that. So I think that's you know, a lot of what's going to be coming out is a lot of the stuff that pagans, for example. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, paganism is so evil and da da da. It's like, I know the most, no, just no. Like, just learn. Don't believe everything that you're told. I would say, particular things that you're told, especially if it is meant to move your opinion one way or another, look at the person who's telling you that and ask yourself, do they have an agenda? Okay, so moving on. So if you would zoom in on this little box here and check out any letters, words, names, charms, anything that stands out to you, I want you to take that for you as part of your reading today. And you can pause the video to do that because I'm going to move this aside. We have E, F, V, L, and L. Okay. So, I believe L is going into Roman numerals. So, that's like 50. So, we have 55. I don't know where that other L would come in. We have fell. Well, the spaceship and fell, and like the whole thing of like being told, certain stories. What immediately came to my mind's eye was the story that we've been told about fallen angels and aliens. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to come out of that, but I am getting that. I'm going to put those up there. All right, we have Sally from the Nightmare Before Christmas with her patchwork dress, putting stuff together, making potions. Quite, kind of your witchy vibes. We have a key with a mermaid on it, and we have the mermaids over here in the spaceship. And don't be afraid to sing. We have the sun, so bringing in happiness. Also, since we have space in here, I will add that we have been in solar maximum, and we've been in the peak of solar maximum since August of 2024, and it is responsible for power glitches and earthquakes, the volcanic activity and stuff. So if you are interested in weather at all, you gotta check out Space Weather, man. So I would recommend geophysicist Stefan Burns. He has his own channel under Stefan Burns. That's Stephen, I believe, and Burns, like Burns. And he's extremely thorough. He even does like some like sound healing sometimes and stuff. But this dude, he knows his stuff. He's very thorough, and a lot of the predictions and particularly the coinciding of the activity from the sun with the proton ejections. Coinciding with like when we get those that are Earth direct and they hit us, then we have an earthquake. I mean, that is like bang on. And I had never heard anybody really put those together until he did. So he's great. Check him out, most definitely. And subscribe to his channel as well. We have the lightning bolt. This has been a huge synchronicity for me. For months, but particularly in the last few days. I mean, it has been constant. So I've been getting this in quartz crystals. So something big is happening regarding electricity. And I it's like one of those, I guess, like divine timing things, or because I keep getting this, but not getting the why. What is this having to do with? But it's like it's giving me this little heads up about electricity. but not telling me the big thing. And sometimes spirit is like that. You're not supposed to know the whole thing because, I don't know, I guess you could mess up the order of things, or excuse me, it is what it is. Somebody may need to work on their throat chakra or take some allergy pills. By somebody, I mean probably me, because keep having to clear my throat. Let's see. We have the angel. So, the fall or the fell and the angel. Also, it's a bit of a cherub angel as well. So, praying, which is basically manifesting. And then we have Dorothy with Toto, and we have the Tin Man. So we have two characters here, one male, one female, or one masculine and one feminine. And then we have a feminine character over here. So I would say Sally more represents like the dark feminine. This Dorothy, I guess she would be more like the light divine feminine. So okay, so this is why earlier the two flames, one was low and the other one was high. So this is a feminine energy who is balanced with both the light and the shadow side. And then here we have a masculine energy he's very robotic. May need to, he's all mind and not heart, all head and not heart. So that's where his imbalance is. He needs to put some heart in with that head to balance that out. And where imbalance was with the rejection. So then it's a male here as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's the male in this reading that needs to do that shadow work on that rejection, and particularly put some heart into it, or feel it with your heart. So using your intuitive side to go into this rather than just your mind. And that may be the problem, is they've tried to think it to death and try to heal it by thinking, or try to fix it, I'm hearing, by thinking. But it needs to be approached differently. And that could be, personally for this person, the new beginning, the new insight, the new information that, starting from basics, is they've been going about this the wrong way the whole time. They actually need to go in with their intuition, with their heart, with a nurturing sense, rather than just their mind and calculations and, overthinking. We have the number 5. Possibly 5 fell. Sounds a little prophetic. And did I read that or not? It says to be authentic is to be true to yourself and your values. So, just, self-expression, being true to you, to find this happiness, to find this balance. All right. Last, we have our pendulum. So I would like you to really focus on a yes or no question, and you can pause the video. When you come back, I will have your answer. Okay, so that really felt kind of all over the place with a yes and a no. So like somebody's overthinking, indecisive. or I'm hearing it can go both ways. So depending on how you look at it is how it can go. So there needs to be some type of change of, I'm hearing a change of perception. And hold on, I'm just listening to what's coming in. So somebody has some type of so I was hearing it's a change in perception, like regarding perfection. So somebody is maybe striving for perfection, and thinking that if they are not perfect, that they will be rejected. Well, that's just not how it is. And there's a balance of things anyway. So perfection is, striving for perfection is imbalanced. Because we have to have both. We have to have a balance. It's not, all this way. Perfection would be an imbalance. And I'm hearing, like, don't be afraid to fall. So don't be afraid to, to take a risk when it comes to this self-expression. Know that the falls, like if you have perfection here and you have falls here, and if you're prioritizing perfection, you have it up here, that's a huge imbalance. Maybe I should do it this way. So, like here's your perfection, here's your, failure or fall. And I'm literally hearing a fall from grace. If you are striving for perfection, then your scales are so off. Like that is so unbalanced. But if you realize that like falling is, it's making mistakes so that you can learn from them and not putting too much pressure on yourself with, being perfection, like that's where the balance is. So, yeah, perfection is imbalance and we don't want that. We want balance. All right. I hope that helps some of you. I hope that you have gotten some clarity from this. And I am going to leave it there. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know how this resonates with you because I love to hear about people's lives. People are absolutely fascinating. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. If you need to contact me for a reading or questions or anything like that, my contact information is in the description box below. Thank you, and that's it. Bye.